last night about this case and their theory and how it didn't make any sense and how it didn't fit and how something is wrong. That occurred to me.
We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant.
It's no disguise. It's no disguise. It makes no sense. It doesn't fit. If it doesn't fit, you must acquit.
We can throw good. Do you?
It's a fool. I'm ready when Mike ready. Shit, I'm geeked up. With my second cup of coffee. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Nah, this some good shit for the people. This some good shit for the people, for sure.
Hold on real quick. I'm reading about this fentanyl law. Yeah, I'm ready. Hey, yo, what's good? What's good? It's Attorney Michael Campbell. Check it back in with my illustrious colleague, Mr. Andrew Wilkerson. How you doing, man?
Mm-hmm. It's all good, baby. Pimping my pen once again. Back for the people. You know, for the people, by the people. Tap in.
First of all, we want to say belated Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's to everyone. We have reached 2026. I feel like 2026 is going to be our best year ever. We just got to keep our head down, get to work, and trust in the Lord. How you feeling, Drew?
Happy birthday, Jesus. You know,
Yeah.
That's how I feel. 'Tis the season, he the reason, you know. I hope everybody had a good Christmas for me. And that's how I know I'm old, man. It ain't nothing just like seeing them babies open them gifts, man, and smiling and, you know,
Excuse me.
The only thing I hate about it, man, I got little kids. So Santa Claus still be taking all, you know, he be stealing all the steam. You know what I'm saying? And I let him believe in Santa for now. But, you know, as far as, you know, Jesus, the reason for the season, man, we hope everybody had a blessed Christmas. We hope everybody is encouraged and going back into the new year. What about you, Mike?
Yeah, no, it was a great Christmas. Got to spend a lot of time with the family. A great New Year's. New Year's always special. It's my baby's, my daughter's, it's her birthday. It's my sister's birthday. And my belated grandmother, excuse me, my beloved grandmother, who's not now transitioned on to be with the Lord, Miss Catherine Campbell. It's her birthday as well on January 1st. So that's 3 generations of Campbell women whose birthday it falls on the first day of the year, so it's real special to our family. A good chance for us to come together. We had a good brunch yesterday. We all met up, had our first meal together. It's always a good time to fellowship with family. You know, had a good time. So, you know, I'm glad to be back in the saddle, man. Looking forward to having a good 2026. We got some good murder trials coming up that we want y'all to tap in, come check us out. We'll be in Tarrant County in the first week of February for a murder where we claim it's self-defense. Want y'all to come check us out on that. It's an open courtroom. I encourage more people to come to the courthouse, man. It is an open courtroom. It's a spectating sport. Just like you go to watch the basketball game, just like you go watch the Cowboys, just like you go to the hockey game. Come to the courthouse doing trials. Spend some time, spend a whole day there and see how it goes and see how the ebbs and flow of a trial works. See how a judge may rule or may be one-sided in their rulings. See the games and the manipulations that's played by the prosecution and see the defensive tactics that's used to try to save a defendant's livelihood. So we encourage y'all to get out and come to see some of our trials. I think we got another resistant or something coming up in April. What is it, Drew? Wilkerson's case. I forget what type of trial it is. It's an assault and retaliation, not resistance.
Yeah. Retaliation.
Retaliation. That's coming up in April in Dallas County. So we want y'all to get out and check the Not Guilty Boys up. Come see why we actually live up to the name in court. It's a spectacular show to see Andrew, probably one of the best, you know, trial, cross-examining, closing, just bulldog in the courtroom that you'll ever see. You know, y'all need to come check us out. And I hold my own way too, you know what I'm saying? One time they put Drew in jail. Y'all know about this story when they put Drew in jail. Judge gonna call me up like I couldn't handle business. Got right down to town. Boy slid his nuts over. Got right down to it. You know, it ain't much fall off when Drew had to leave. Drew had to leave last trial and Buford trial. Kick your nose in. You know what I'm saying?
Mistrial. Before now, hold on. Now, since you want to go there, I'm getting on the plane. You feel me? I'm punching my ticket. He called me mistrial. I said, damn. damn. I tell the client, mama, she crying. You know what I'm saying? In that retaliation case, that's for the same client that we just beat a murder on last April. So the DA mad,
Come on
kicked his
now.
ass. That's the
Come on.
verdict that came back in 15 minutes. Not guilty.
Come on
You
now.
understand what I'm saying?
Come
While we was
on.
eating our tacos. If you ain't seen that
Come on
episode,
now.
tap in. But it'll be
Yeah.
an interesting case, man. Y'all sit in the barbershop and argue back and forth all day about the legal system this, justice system that. Come see, man. Come see.
Yeah, it's important too, because you can come see the judges that you voting for. And we bring it on these judicial candidates, bringing them to y'all, giving y'all their campaigns. We giving y'all the information of what they stand for and the policies that they're trying to change on the bench and in the district attorney's office. So y'all should come out and see these people work and see who you actually voting for. You know, it's a good reason to come sit to these trials, you know, and be a spectator. A part of that also holds the judges and the prosecutors accountable when they see that eyes are on them and these people have the ability to effectuate the vote by voting against you. That's going to hold them to do the right thing. So we definitely encourage y'all to come out and check these trials out. But we going to jump into the show. We got a good show for you today. I'm excited about today's show. We're going to start out with our legalese and me session. Y'all continue to send y'all questions in. Send them through Facebook, send them through Instagram. We even got TikTok. We got an email, the notguiltyboys@gmail.com. Y'all can send them to our email. If y'all have our phone numbers, just text us y'all legal questions, and we're going to give y'all a little game on this as much as we can moving forward. So the question for today, as I pull out my notes, is dealing with protective orders. Protective orders. One person asked when they picked up an assault, family violence, and they got a protective order served on them when they were in jail. What is the ramifications of a protective order? Drew, I'll let you start out. What should a person do when they get a protective order?
Well, the first thing you should do is read it.
Right.
You know, so you know, probably about 3-4 pages. They're very standard. You know, you got temporary protective orders, you got emergency protective orders, and you got bond conditions as well. So let me make something very clear. With every assault case, there's going to be a bond condition that you cannot contact the CW, the complaining witness, right? But that's a bond condition. That's something that doesn't outlive the case, put it like that. Or you can have your attorney go to court and get that lifted under most circumstances that qualify. Now, the protective order, the question that I get the most, for instance, I got a guy, the mother of his child filed a protective order on him. After filing a protective order on him, she calls him and texts him and contacts him, right? Well, ladies, and some gentlemen, I mean, if you're a gentleman that has to file a protective order, God bless your soul. I hope not. That's, you might want to check your Adams app on that. Anyway, you're not supposed to contact that person. And I'm talking to the person that gets the protective order. Women, I'm going to say women because that would be most situations. If you have a protective order on somebody, not only are you protected by that protective order, of course, it's your protective order, but so is this person, because you're not supposed to be contacting that person either. You know, there's a lot of situations that I encounter where a woman will think that she could still have somebody on the hook, or still, I can contact you, but as soon as you contact me, I'm gonna call the police. I can come knock on your apartment door because the protective order ain't on me, it's on you. And if you make me mad, I'm gonna call your probation officer and tell him, you see what I'm saying? But baby girl, you are disobeying a court order, the very same way that that man would be if he was in your space or contacting you. You're not supposed to contact them. You're not supposed to contact them through third parties, and you're not supposed to be in their area, the same area as them. If you got kids with somebody that has a protective order on you and y'all at the basketball game, you probably want to sit on if she on the home side, you probably want to sit on the visitor side. Okay. If you see her at the vending machine when you going to the wherever they sell the snacks. Wait, yeah, the concession stand, wait till she done. You see what I'm saying? But what y'all need to understand, and what I think is not common knowledge, which should be common knowledge, is that goes for both parties. Secondly, with a protective order, you have to be served. If a woman tell you she got a protective order on you, you probably shouldn't mess with her no more, first of all. But if she does, you have to be served with that. Somebody has to put it in your hand and you have to sign it, okay? Somebody has to put it in your hand. You may not have to sign it, but somebody definitely has to put it in your hand. Do you have to sign it, Mike?
No, you don't have to sign it.
Yeah, you don't have to sign it, but they do have to serve you, okay, in person and put it in your hand. So just understand, people say, I mean, if somebody says something like that to you, that ain't the person you need to be messing with, no way. But I'm just saying, standard procedure in the law says that you have to be served. The same way that they have to serve you with your bond conditions. They have to let you know formally what your bond conditions are. What you got, Mike?
Yeah, it's a civil matter. A protective order is a civil, quasi-criminal matter, but more civil. So that's why they have to serve you with those documents, and you have to respond within a written response, file a written response within a certain time frame. Protective orders can be emergency protective orders. Those are usually 60 days. You usually see those in some type of, like I said, assault, domestic violence, family violence type of situations. That means, yeah, you can't go to your house or if your residence is the house that she's staying at, then my brother, you can't go to that house for 60 days. You can't contact her through a third party. You can't be nowhere around it. You can't go to a place of abode. You can't go to a residence. You can't be nowhere around her for 60 days. Some people like try to fight that, but I always tell my clients, it ain't no reason in fighting that. Wait that 60 days out because the judge is not going to overturn it. It may take longer or just as long getting a hearing on that, and the hearing may not go your way. So it really ain't no reason to fight an emergency protective order. Now, on the other side, you have a more permanent protective order that could be good for 2 years. That can affect your gun rights. You're not allowed to carry a gun if you got a permanent protective order against you. Now, you do get a right to a hearing with that, and that's more of a civil hearing. So the burden of proof is not as higher in a protective order hearing as it is in a criminal trial. So a protective order hearing, a judge makes the decision, as opposed to a criminal trial where you can have a jury make the final decision. So that's why I say it's quasi-civil and quasi-criminal. Protective order hearings, it's not the same evidentiary standard as a criminal trial. Evidence comes in on a lower threshold than in criminal trial. So if you fight a protective order, you got to really have your ducks in a row. Sometimes I tell my client it ain't worth fighting a permanent protective order, because if they have enough to prove, and you ain't got no reason to contact that person anyway, you may just want to agree not to contact that person, because like Drew said, it's also going to be a bond condition, which is different from a protective order. But your bond condition is going to say no contacting through third parties, no going around their place of residence, their place of abode. The same thing the protective order say. So I tell my clients, well, if these are your bond conditions and that protective order aligns with it, and you don't have no reason to contact that person anyway, this is the person who try to put you in jail, try to do damage to your reputation in the community, try to get you fired from your job. What you want to contact them for anyway? It ain't gonna be a good conversation anyway when you try to contact them. Unless you want to harass and stalk them, then your ass probably needs to be back in that jail than out here in the freedom, because you steady committing crimes. I know a brother like that, just steady kept going. But, I'll say just, consult with an attorney, call the not guilty boys, and ask us what you really should be doing in, handling these protective orders. And like I say, just be smart. You have to be careful when you have a protective order on you, because she may send you a message through Facebook and you respond. I heard a judge say, and that's why I don't like, I heard what Drew said about her contacting you is against the law, which it really is. But some judges try to protect the women, try to protect these victims, and will turn a blind eye to that. And I heard a judge say, she's no longer a judge, and she was a horrible judge, but I heard a judge say in Tarrant County that I don't
Keep it
care
plain.
if she contacts you 100 times. If you contact her one time, if you respond one time, you violate that order and I'm putting you back in jail. So, again, that judge didn't care if that woman hit you up 100 times. Your baby needs diapers. I love you. Come have sex with me. Whatever she's saying, That judge didn't care. Soon as you say okay, she put your ass back in jail. So you got to be careful when you have protective orders and bond conditions like that on you. Anything else about that, Wadi?
No, man, I think I do agree that there was a horrible judge.
She know who
'Cause that's
she is.
crazy.
Try to hold the tip for somebody else. That's a whole nother show. We gonna have that show though. She know who she is. She ain't even a judge no more. Okay. Probably should have never been a judge in the first place. But we gonna move it on. There's been some changes. I know a lot of people had questions. There's been social media rumors about the changes to the Texas DWI laws. Senate Bill 826, a new law that passed in September 2025 that was effective starting yesterday, January 1st, 2026. There are new harsher penalties and new enhanced penalties when it comes to DWI. Most importantly, DWI with a blood alcohol level over 0.15 is now a state jail felony. Okay. So if you out hanging out with your people, you getting loose, you at a house party or you out at the club or you at the bar, you got to be careful of your intake because it don't take, the legal limit is 0.08 and it doesn't take much to get past that limit. But what this new law says, if you double that limit, if you pretty messed up and you get behind a wheel, they can hit you with a felony. And you got to know DWI only in very seldom circumstances can come off your record. So you can be a convicted felon behind having 4 or 5 shots at the bar and getting behind a wheel. It just not worth it. You know, the cost of hiring an attorney, the cost of fighting it, and then you still being a convicted felon, you know, Uber and Lyft may be the way, my boy. It probably is the way in Texas. You don't even want to play with that. What you think about the new DWI law, sure?
Hey man, I think that they trying to target people that get repeat offenders in DWI. Used to be that you could have a DWI first, could be a class A or a class B. Matter of fact, one of the tricks that most attorneys used to do was that if you had a class A, because it was a 0.15, you would double the limit. It was still a misdemeanor. It was the highest level of misdemeanor. But one thing they would do is get the prosecutor to strike that 0.15 language
Right.
in the complaint, and then that would downgrade it back to a class B misdemeanor. Now, these things matter because whatever you plead to is what you're going to be held accountable to, right? For instance, like a guy that steals a piece of gum out of a gas station and they get him for robbery. He probably should wait till that's downgraded to a theft or a petty theft before he pleads, if he pleads. You feel what I'm saying? Because once you're on probation, if you mess up on probation, you're gonna be held to that robbery. See what I'm saying? So
Right.
it's better to plead that class A down to a class B or that felony down to a misdemeanor, because if something happens, by chance something happens and you end up getting revoked, you will only be held accountable for the misdemeanor B and not the A or the felony. You understand what I'm saying? So that's a big deal. Mike's right. It's only DWI is one of the few types of cases where, because it used to be all the way before you can get your record sealed, before you could get a petition for non-disclosure for DWI, it used to be pass or fail, win or lose, conviction or dismiss. It wasn't no in between. But I still think that that's the case. Like if you get a felony DWI, you probably take it to trial. Probably should take it to trial. But understand, the stakes are higher now. See, before they used to tell, when I first got in the game, attorneys used to tell me, take every DWI to trial, every DWI, because all of them were misdemeanors. And so you couldn't get more than a year in jail. You couldn't get more than 2 years probation, right? And you could still get probation from a jury. You see what I'm saying? So it's almost like you was playing with house money. Like, go for the not guilty before you plead anything that you shouldn't plead to on a DWI, because the stakes are so low. But now you can get 2 to 10. You see what I'm saying? Well, no, not 2 to 10. State jail felony. You can get up to 100. Yeah, you can get 180 days to 2 years in jail. Okay. So the jail time part of it has exceeded by a year. They basically tacked the year on, because before you could get up to a year in jail. Most people don't get a year in jail for DWIs. Most people, if they are, that's my son, y'all. I'm sorry. That's my son. Most people, he's saying eat because he's hungry. Most people for DWI get like 3 days, 4 days, 11 days. You see what I'm saying? Most people don't get a long amount of jail time unless there was an accident and somebody got hurt.
Right.
You know, but I think that it just raises the stakes, man. And they basically are trying to target these people. Because one thing I don't understand, everybody has their vices, man. Everybody got things they need to work on.
Right.
Everybody got, I'm not perfect. And, I'm not much of a judger, but that's one of the things I want to do in 2026. I don't want to judge nobody, bro. I just want to mind my business and let people do what they're doing, unless you're my kid. But what I'm saying is, I've known people, and Mike, you probably seen this in your career. People get their 30 DWI, 40 DWI, 50 DWI. This law is targeting those types of individuals.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? So, just be cognizant, man. And honestly, me and Mike met this judge not around the same time, but I remember Mike being in the courtroom when the light went on for me. Judge said, we got Uber now, man. Like, we got Uber, just use the Uber, man. Like, at some point, you got to hold yourself morally responsible, man.
Yeah.
You got, at some point, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're not cognizant enough to get behind the wheel, bro, I mean, pay the parking lot fee and come get your shit at tomorrow when you wake up. You see what I'm saying? Like, it ain't that big of a deal. Like, you don't have to get behind the wheel. Like, that's like I don't know. I've never understood that method of thinking. I don't like driving that much anyway. So any excuse I could use not to drive, I'm cool with it. But, yeah, that's pretty much how I feel about it. Oh, and also, if you're in a school zone, so it's not only the .15 that's a felony, it's if you're caught in a school zone. So what that means to me is y'all gotta read between the lines. Even if you're not double the limit and you in a school zone, it's a felony. You see what I'm saying? So that's two new ways that it's a felony. If you're double the limit, and if you just in the school zone intoxicated behind the wheel. Now, having a child in the car under 15, that's always been a state jail felony. Right. So, or there might be a felony 3. But there's always been a felony, period. But yeah, man, they kind of expanding the borders, increasing the borders on y'all to kind of, it seems like a less deterrent law and more punishment law at this point. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, and what I would say, DWI is very easy to pick up, man. It's a couple of beers at the bar. You try to drive home, you may swerve a little bit, and then now you looking at doing a field sobriety test. Now you getting arrested for DWI. It's not that hard, but I do understand the importance of it because you could also have them 2 or 3 beers, get behind a wheel, swerve, and hit and kill somebody. Now you're talking about intoxication, manslaughter. The best advice we can give you, like Drew said, is to call an Uber or call a Lyft. It's just not worth it. And I do understand that it can happen to the nicest of people, the most unharming type of people, but it can happen. So with that being said, the best thing we can tell you is not to do it. Drinking and driving, it can affect both sides in a very tremendous way if someone was to be hurt. We just advise you not to do it. Now, it's another rumor going around on social media that smoking weed in the car is now a felony. That's not true. Okay. That's not true. If you smoke your weed in the car, you go get hit with possession. But the law could charge you. And I've seen a lot of prosecutors now, me and Drew actually tried a case like this in Dallas County years ago, where they try to prosecute you for having other illicit drugs in your system, because the law is not just tailored to alcohol. DWI include any intoxicants. For example, I'm fighting a case now. The person had very strong drug in their system and no alcohol in their system, but they're still pursuing a DWI charge against her. Okay. So what I'm saying is, if you pop some Exos last weekend and it's still in your system, and you get pulled over and they test your blood, they got to test your blood, but they test your blood and they find some illicit drug in your blood, like marijuana, cocaine, crack, heroin, PCP, ecstasy, meth, fentanyl, they found any of that in your system while you're driving, they may pursue a DWI charge. If they don't find it on your person and can hit you with the higher felony, they're probably going to go with the DWI charge. And prosecutors are prosecuting that. So just be smart. Yeah, if you got weed in your system, they can hit you with a DWI, but it ain't a felony. It's not a felony. It's just a normal DWI. But they are pursuing those to try to get convictions on those too. These prosecutors are here in Texas. So again, just be smart in how you getting behind that wheel. You don't want to be too loaded where you draw the cops' attention to you, and now you got something in your system. Now you're looking at a DWI.
Well, hold on, Mike.
Okay.
I know Mike can attest to this. Another thing I just thought about that popped in my head that the normal average Joe don't know. Okay. Tell me if I'm lying, Mike. You got to watch what you're doing as far as DWI too, because a DWI is what I want to call a trainee charge or an experimental charge. Let me explain myself. You get your first time police officer that can't wait to do his first field sobriety test.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I've had so many cases where the dude don't even do the full field sobriety test. It's 3 prongs to it. He only did the walk and turn. He didn't do the other stuff. And then he booked them and put them. You see what I'm saying? Like,
right.
These are cases that are used to train new officers. Part number 2, these are cases that are used to train new attorneys as well, new district attorneys, all the baby prosecutors. Those assaults and DWIs are the cases that they let them try. So understand, these cases are cases that have longevity for reasons other than it just being you broke the law. It's because they got this new baby prosecutor. They want to see what he got in trial, and they want to let him try it. And your case is on the board. So you going to try. You see what I'm saying? So understand, like we said before, it ain't hard to be smarter than the police, man. Get as hammered as you want. Get as loaded as you want. And call the Uber, fam. Fall asleep in the back seat. You know what I'm saying? Do what you want to do. Just don't get behind the wheel when you've either lost your mental or physical faculties. Just wanted to add.
Right. Again, DWI, one of the most arrestable offenses, one of the top arresting offenses in Texas. So you guys need to take heed and put that in your arsenal when you're moving about, and just be smart and call a lawyer. Get on DuPro. Shout out DuPro. Hey. If you get pulled over for a suspected DWI, get on DuPro, record the whole situation so you can have your evidence ready for your lawyer. So we're going to move along. We touched on drugs. And I'm sure most of you guys have heard that your President Trump, an executive order now classifying fentanyl, that fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction as America tries to take on this opiate crisis. Fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction is a strong approach. We're talking about the same thing that they tried to say that Osama bin Laden and his boys had, weapons where you could press one button and blow the whole world up. Well, fentanyl is that serious of a drug though. Fentanyl is the one pill can kill type of pill, which I still don't understand why you would want to, knowing that you would want to get high off fentanyl, knowing that one pill can kill you. I don't even know why you would want to sell that, drug dealers, transactioners, knowing that one pill can kill. I mean, that you got to have a certain dark moral compass. If
you got to be a fucked up person, just say it, bro.
Now. Come on now, to be selling shit knowing that it could kill people. So, I mean, my whole opinion about fentanyl being a weapon of mass destruction, it is. It fucking is a weapon of mass destruction. If half a pill can kill you, imagine that getting in your baby's hands. Imagine your child having a headache. And I've heard stories. This is a true damn story. Imagine your baby having a headache, thinking they taking a Tylenol, and it's actually laced with fentanyl, and they die because they was trying to treat a headache. That shit probably shouldn't be on the street, fam. So is it a weapon of mass destruction? And I know that the opioid crisis is real. And it's a community of people within America who's suffering from this type of addiction. And it's taken I know a judge in Denton County He's the drug offender program judge. And what he'll do, he'll have pictures all over the courtroom. I'm talking about everywhere. And the age of the individual, of people who have died from fentanyl and overdosing on pills. And the whole courtroom will be filled with pictures. And it'll be all ages of people. And it'll be the clean cut people. It'll be the people who look like they've been using for years. It'll be your executives. It'll be your drug users. It'll be kids. It'll be teenagers. It'll be moms. It'll be dads. It'll be, come on now. So is it a weapon of mass destruction? When you walk in that judge's courtroom in Denton County, and salute to that judge because he's a really good judge and there ain't many out there. But, to see that picture is a real eye-opener of how serious the opioid crisis is here in America. Drew, what's your thoughts? Fentanyl, weapon of mass destruction.
I got a lot of thoughts, bro. You want to know what was never declared a weapon of mass destruction?
What's
Wait for it. Crack.
Right.
Crack was never declared a weapon of mass destruction, bro.
Okay.
So let me get on my soapbox real quick.
Let's go for it.
When the shit kill white folks, it's a weapon of mass destruction. When the white folk kids start, come on, man, quit out, man. Say, we gonna make it plain for you, bro. When it start killing the white folks' kids, you feel me? It's a weapon of mass destruction. Executive orders get put in place. You see what I'm saying? The ink hit the paper then. You see what I'm saying? I think that's some bullshit. Now, I don't think it's some bullshit that fentanyl is a weapon of mass. I think it is a weapon of mass destruction, but I think it's some effed up shit, bro.
Right.
That the only times they want to stomp down and step down on this shit,
come on now,
is when the white folks start dying. Come on, bro.
Come on now.
Crack was an epidemic in the 80s, man. Quit playing.
It was.
Come on, man. Like, man, say, look, bro, I'm trying to be as contrite and professional as I could be, bro. But they always doing that shit. Yeah. Like the opiate epidemic.
Yeah.
Niggas was popping all kind of faux bars, handlebars, ecstasy pills, Superman, Superboy, Supergirls, Big Pills, Blue Dolphin, Red, name anything you want. Yeah, doing all that shit. I'm in the band, call it where the pill man at.
Come on now.
Come on, bro.
Is you rolling?
Is you rolling? You might be. You might be. You feel me? But then none of that it wasn't no executive order for none of that, bro.
You're right.
So black folks, people of color, Hispanics, brown, I'm down with the Rainbow Coalition. Like Fred Hammond. Not Fred Hammond, Fred Hampton. I said Fred Hammond. Fred Hampton. You understand what I'm saying? I'm down with all colors of people, bro. But understand that cannot be disregarded. We cannot hesitate or vacillate on that, bro. That is a fact. That these white folks ain't stomping down until it's their own. It was niggas in the streets on that crack. It was everywhere you look, crack was, bro. Everywhere black was, crack was. What you talking about, man?
Nah, for sure.
You see what I'm saying? Come on, bro. Let's keep it plain, bro.
Hey, man.
You know?
I love your perspective, Wadi. I absolutely love your perspective.
Come on, man. Mass destruction.
I'm talking about the opiate crisis being an eye-opener, but you just opened my eyes to see that shit is tailored to the white folks.
Come on, bro. Come on.
Courtroom, majority of them people on them walls are white people. Come on now. I'm gonna just keep it plain.
Come on, bro. Come on.
But you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. When they was making money off of crack and black people being addicted to it, I guess they tried to come to war on drugs, but they damn sure wasn't signing executive orders calling it weapons of mass destruction.
Come on, niggas was getting Mickeys, bad X pills and dying. Niggas was getting bad. Come on, man. Come on, bro.
CIA, FBI, we all know y'all making money off of it. So, I guess y'all can turn a blind eye when it's profitable. But
come on.
Yeah.
Hold on. But that's my first prong, though. Now that we done got through that, because I wanted to make sure I laid down some law on that.
Okay.
Now, bro, all it take is 2 milligrams of fentanyl to kill you. So let me back my boy up, bro. Hey, bro, I done been in all the cracks and crevices of life, fam. In the hood, to the streets, I done been everywhere, fam. Matter of fact, I done sold pills before, back in the day. all that shit, bro. So I ain't immune to none of this shit, bro. I can speak about all this shit. But understand this, fam. If you selling something that you know, it's a couple of things. You selling something that you know people can die from, fam. See, I compared it to crack as far as the executive order and it being for the black or the white folks, but let's compare it to crack again. People knew they was getting crack. You understand? Back then, people knew they was getting crack. They knew can I get some crack? You got some rock. Niggas knew. Niggas wasn't asking for this and getting that.
Right.
So you got to understand, most people don't know what's going on in this fentanyl world. Niggas ain't asking for fentanyl. Niggas asking for something else. Bro, you giving people something that they don't even know they taking, fam. They might ask you for a bar. They might ask you for a Adderall pill. They might ask you for an X pill and it end up being that. That shit too dangerous, fam. Get out the game. Get out the pill game. Get out the pill game. Get you some bricks or something. Get out the pill game, fam. It's too dangerous. And you gotta be a fucking sociopath to sell that shit, bro. Like you walking around with a sandwich bag full of death, my nigga. Full of death. And you selling it for $8 a pill? For $8 for a number one?
$4
at McDonald's?
Yeah,
Come on, fam. Like, do something else with your life, bro. You better than that, bro. You better than that, fam. That shit weak, bro. That shit weak. That shit ain't even fiscally or economically sound, bro. They don't even make sense, bro. You're not even making money to be able to explain yourself on that, man.
And you gotta know that. You gotta know that they coming harsher with the laws now. Now you get caught selling fentanyl in Texas. That's an automatic detention. That's an automatic detention.
Mike, 2 milligrams, bro. 2 milligrams. That's like a microcosm. That's like a microdose, nigga. Can kill you, bro. Do away with them pills, fam. Do away with them pills, bro.
Quite frankly, Tarrant County, they had an automatic 25 when it comes to that fentanyl.
Come on, man. You a wild nigga, you selling fentanyl out here, bro. You a wild nigga.
$4 pill can get you 25 to life. You tripping. You tripping.
Look yourself in the mirror and say, I'm a wild nigga. Just say that. And I don't care about human life, bro. Just say that, bro.
You could go sell them beat up J's on Facebook Market for more than $4, my G. Just get all your beat up shoes and put them on Facebook Market, and you gonna make more money selling that than selling fentanyl pill, and you ain't looking at 25 to life. That's just common sense. At that point, you want to do it. You want to be a distributor of death. I will call you the devil. You want to be a distributor of death if you only making $4 to $8 off that shit, and you risking 25 to life plus being called a murderer. Cause they hitting boys with murder charges now. Where boys are ODing on fentanyl. Hell, we fighting one right now. They hitting boys with murder charges.
Smacking them. They smacking them
with the
You understand what I'm saying?
Handing out the M's. They hitting boys with their murder.
And I just beat a charge because there was a middleman. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And they got to prove everybody. They got to charge everybody.
Right.
So it can't be no middleman. Understand that, lawyers, if you don't know that. If person A give it to person B and person B give it to C and C dies, then they got to prove it was person A, and they can't do that with person B in the middle of them. You see what I'm saying? That's just a tidbit for y'all. But understand, bro, really sit back and think about that. Niggas not asking for fentanyl, bro. Niggas asking for other shit, and they getting fentanyl. So y'all stamping fake pills. It used to be placebos. It used to be a nigga take a pill that he thought was a faux bar and don't nothing happen. Now a nigga die. Come on, bro. Like, just get out the game, fam. Like, come on, bro. I ain't gonna sit here and explain to you how drug dealing compares to running a very economical and successful business. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna take you down that road. Because if you could deal some drugs, you could run a business, fam. But I ain't hating what you're doing. I am hating that part of the game. Fentanyl part of I don't fuck with that part of the game. But understand, when niggas was asking for coke, niggas got coke. You know what I'm saying? And it be fitting on that shit too. When niggas was asking for crack, niggas was getting crack. Now niggas just asking for certain pills and they getting fentanyl, bro. Like you just a wild nigga, bro. That's all I can say. It's the best way I can say. You just a wild nigga.
Look, in Tarrant County, a wild place, because they don't care if it's stick or not. They still gonna charge person A, they gave it to person B, who gave it to person C, who gave it to person D, who OD'd off of it. A, B, and C getting charged. You know what I'm saying? So you just gotta be careful, man. Leave that shit alone. I don't even want to be around it. I don't want to see it. I damn sure don't want to touch it. I don't want to be nowhere around it. If it's that potent and dangerous, I mean, that's a whole nother level of drug usage. People used to use drugs back in the day for fun and to party and to have a good time, or maybe to help you go to sleep or some shit like that. But you taking something knowing it can kill you for what? That I ain't that big of a thrill seeker. I don't want to go on that type of roller coaster adventure. So we appreciate y'all. Continue to check in and watch these shows. The Not Guilty Boys. Continue to support us on Instagram. Subscribe to our YouTube page. Like and share our clips. You know, we try to give you guys as much of our legal minds as we can. And we also try to bring the people on, the judicial candidates, to show you the type of people who will be in place to make these type of decisions that may affect your loved one at some point. So this is I thought this podcast will be very critical to the people, and it's turned out to be everything I thought it was. Drew, you got any closing arguments?
I like it. See what you did.
Yeah.
Man, please the court.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, y'all just keep tapping in, man. Please subscribe on YouTube, Not Guilty Boys. We are on all podcast platforms now. If you go to the purple app on your iPhone, the podcast app, we on there. We're gonna be on Odyssey pretty soon. You know, you guys, if y'all need a lawyer, 844-849-9789. The only thing my clients are guilty of is being innocent. You understand what I'm saying? So Spotify too. We on Spotify. Please send your legalese and me questions to our inbox on Instagram. Send it to us. We on is it Snapchat or what is it?
TikTok,
not Snapchat. TikTok. We on TikTok. You see, I only do Facebook and IG, man. I can't do all. I can't. Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah, man, it's been an honor speaking to y'all. You know, tap in with us if you got any questions, illegal questions. Tap in with us. We just want to continue providing this information to the people. We want to be a podcast y'all can come learn something. We want to spark your mind to think about different things. You know, we just glad that y'all willing to have us, man, and continue to have us, man. We're gonna keep doing this thing, keep making it bigger.
Yeah, download the DuPro app. Shout out DuPro. DuPro is what you need when you encounter police. Say you get pulled over, they start investigating you for anything. You want to have DuPro on your phone, click the DuPro app open and start recording that encounter with the police. DuPro can also be utilized if you get into a car wreck, okay, and you need to preserve some evidence like a person's license plate, what they said on the scene. You could be recording that whole situation. You could take pictures. DuPro can also help you if you have a loved one that is not a citizen of this country and ICE picks them up. They can activate DuPro in that process to get immigration attorney online ASAP to help them with that legal situation. So DuPro, shout out DuPro. I think every citizen needs to have DuPro, every Texan. It really is accessible all over the country. And sooner or later, it's going to be accessible internationally. So, yeah, I think someone asked, can I access DuPro in Georgia? Yeah, you have access to DuPro in Georgia, in California, and all the 50 states. So not only Texas, if you are an American citizen, download DuPro to record your interactions live, real time with police officers and on the scenes of that accidents. Shout out Fruitcase, shout out Throw, long-time supporter of the show. Shout out Providence Bail Bonds. May them boys have a prosperous, productive, and profitable 2026. If you don't know what to do, call Drew. If it ain't right, call Mike Wilkinson and Campbell. We are 30 combined years of legal expertise, two of the top attorneys here in, I would say, all of Texas and possibly all of America. But, I ain't the one to ring my own bell, but we keep receiving certain accolades and awards for some reason. We're doing something right. We keep hearing the word not guilty when we go to trial for our clients. So we're doing something right. And hence the name, the Not Guilty Boys. So we checking out. I think this is one of our better shows. Y'all continue to like, y'all send y'all questions in, and we'll answer whatever questions we feel that are appropriate moving forward. Checking out one time for your mind, Not Guilty Boys. Yes, sir.
Above entitled action, find the defendant.
It's no disguise. It's no disguise. It makes no sense. It doesn't fit. If it doesn't fit, you must acquit.
We in the throw good, do you?
We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant not guilty of the crime of murder. We, the jury, in the above entitled action, further find a special circumstance that the defendant has in this case been convicted of at least one crime of murder of the first degree and one or more crimes of murder of the first or second degree to be not true. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, is this your verdict? So say you one, so say you all.